Gennady Golvkin making his way through the ropes where he joins Matthew Macklin. WBA, IBO middleweight titles on the line. Commentators Jim Watt and Nick Hawley.
Yes, thanks very much indeed. Yeah, the protagonists in the ring here at Macklin Tucket. They are not messing around. Straight in, straight down to business. Is it third time lucky for Macklin?
The MGM Grand Theater here at Foxwoods Resort Casino of Connecticut, USA. K2 Promotions and DeBella Entertainment are proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBO WBA Middleweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Nemiroff, Everlast, and Brabble. Sanctioned by the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation Athletic Commission. Chairman George Henningsen. Vice Chairman Ken Reels. Commissioners in attendance Matt Cooper, Tanya Daines, Val Sebastian, and Belinda McKeon. This fight is recognized by the WBA for its Super World title. President Gilberto Mendoza Sr. and sanctioned by the IBO President Ed Levine. At ringside, the three judges scoring the bout: Glenn Feldman, Julie Letterman, and Clark Sammartino. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran referee Big Eddie Cotton. And now, the officials are ready, the fighters are ready. So for the thousands in attendance here at Foxwoods and the millions watching around the world on HBO, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner with his trainer Buddy McCurt, wearing green with orange, officially weighing in at 159 pounds. An outstanding professional record consisting of 29 victories, including 20 knockouts with 4 defeats. He's the middleweight fighting pride of County Tipperary and Birmingham, England. Former British champion, 2-time European middleweight champion, the challenger, Matthew Macklin. And fighting out of the red corner with his trainer, Abel Sanchez, wearing light blue and official weight, 159 pounds. This Olympic silver medalist now has a perfect professional record. 26 fights, 26 victories, including 23 knockouts. His 88.5 KO percentage is the best in middleweight championship history and the highest among all active world champions today. From Karaganda, Kazakhstan, the reigning, defending, undefeated IBO WBA middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Triple G Golvkin.
Eddie Cotton, the third man in the ring. He was there for Lewis Tyson 13 years ago this month in Memphis.
All right, boxers, you received my commands. You received my instructions in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. All right, I expect a good, clean fight. Let's touch gloves. Boom.
Well, Matthew Macklin knows his boxing history. He'll know that Dave McCauley, Steve Collins, Clinton Woods, and our own Johnny Nelson all won a world title at the third time of asking. But after that, it gets tough. Only Howard Winstone and Frank Bruno won it at the 4th attempt. Can he upset the odds? And he is a massive underdog here against Gennady Golovkin. And it'll be interesting to see what he does. Does he apply pressure? Everybody, all the experts, both trainers think that would be a big mistake. Will he box more on the move and pick his shots like he did against Sergio Martinez? Jim, that's certainly the style you think that Matthew should adopt tonight to have some success.
Well, when you're facing a man who can take you out with one punch, and we know that Golvkin has the power to take anyone out with one punch, and you are a puncher yourself, I would say the plan is to get your own big shots on at the earliest opportunity. I mean, you can't be cagey for 12 rounds. Eventually, you're going to have to engage with this fellow. So do you do it early when you're still strong and you still have power in your own punches? That's what I would suggest. I mean, he's not going to outbox this fellow and win the title. You know, he's not going to do it at long range and win the title. He maybe do it at long range and manage to go the distance. If he wants to be champion, he's going to have to go in and get it. But it's a tall, tall order. This fellow is a vicious puncher.
He really is. And there are lots of people who say, well, that incredible streak of 13 knockouts and that amazing statistical percentage that you just heard Michael Buffer talking about, it's been built up on light middleweights and second division middleweights. Matthew Macklin is neither of those. He's a heavy-handed, big, physical, strong 160-pounder.
But look at the technique of Golvkin already, pushing Macklin onto the jab, solid jab, straight onto the mouth of Macklin. I mean, you can see this fellow is so confident, he's oozing confidence. Macklin constantly on the move. You know, he's felt the power already. There's a left hook. He's so quick, so powerful. There are no weaknesses in this man's setup. Look at the speed of the jab and the accuracy.
Well, I tell you, his footwork, he is cutting this ring off very fast, and Macklin is looking for places to try and hide. He's got to try and get something going here to force Golvkin on the back foot, because Golovkin's body language is oozing confidence. Right hand gets through. Macklin looked a little bit rocked by that, and he looked rocked by that left hook as well.
Golvkin has actually dominated the opening round. He hasn't landed all of the punches he's thrown, obviously. He's dominating the action. Already he's looking the boss. This fellow is something special.
Missed with his right hand lead there, but didn't miss by much. And look at that, closing him down again, hunting him down, giving him no breathing room, getting through. The legs wobbled as that right hand landed.
Macklin's got to try to come forward and get his own punches off it. There's a reason he's a huge underdog, and already we're seeing why.
They were so confident, Jim, all week. Matthew Macklin has looked terrific. Even tonight, talking to some of the guys in his entourage, they said he's had such a good camp. But that confidence is getting wiped out here in the opening 3 seconds.
Golvkin stood back there because the kind of feet got a little bit tangled. What a sportsman, but he's patient, he's happy. Well, that's where it looked like a knockdown, but the feet were tangled, and Golovkin's such a sportsman, just nods and steps back, but dominated the opening round.
Well, there was lots for the trainers to do there. Buddy McGirt in Macklin's corner said you've got to relax and you've got to move to the right, stay in a shell. And Abel Sanchez just said, Gennady, go out, mix it up, have some fun. That's how much fun he was having in the first round. And Golvkin really started with some purpose here. That right hand shaking Macklin up as well, and he's hanging on here. This is looking like a nightmare for Matthew Macklin at the moment.
You know, you're asking, what should Macklin do? It's pointless doing anything. This fellow, unfortunately, it just looks a different class. He's strong, he's solid, his technique is perfect. There's just nothing Macklin can do to stop this. This is like a hurricane coming towards him.
Well, Abel Sanchez earlier today said Golovkin will knock Macklin out in 5. That's how confident they were.
Stop right there.
Yeah, he's just got to try and tighten things up here. Try and frustrate and lock him up, but man, he's just a hunter in there, Golvkin.
But look at the little feints as he goes forward, walking straight up to Macklin, just not in the least perturbed about the power that Macklin has. I mean, Macklin scored a couple of early knockouts in his career at a good level, but Golvkin just disregarding what he has, walking through him.
Well, the people who criticised Golvkin, who said he was overblown, a bit hyped, just said, well, he hasn't really beaten anybody. But I tell you what, if he destroys Macklin, the Matthew Macklin that went the distance with Felix Sturm, that put Sergio Martinez on the floor, if he carries on like this, there won't be any arguments about him. None.
I didn't think anybody could be different class to Matthew Macklin. Matthew Macklin is a terrific fighter, as he's proved in his last 2 challenges. But this fellow, from what we've seen already, it just looks a different class altogether.
And I think Macklin might be cut around the left eye, Jim. Not sure. He's certainly red. Well, the right hand gets through, follows up with a little cuffing left. Switching downstairs to the body. Nothing coming back from Macklin. And again, just caught with a counter, missing badly.
His confidence has just been ripped from him in that opening round. We know Macklin will never give up.
He's got to make Golvkin respect his power if he can. A bit more like that. That got a cheer from the fans that have made the trip here, and he's got an entourage. They've had nothing to shout about so far, but he's got to do something just to make Golvkin think, hang on, I need to think about this.
Yeah, he's got to set himself for his own punches. Just take some chances, because he's just been overwhelmed by pressure and precision punches so far.
He is marked up on the left-hand side of his face. But he's taken a couple of very, very hard right hands there. Did well to get through the round there, but it's not been a good start for him. Abel Sanchez talking to Gennady Golvkin. Those two have been locked away in their camp in Big Bear, California. Macklin with that mark over the left eye has been cut. Started his camp at his gym in Marbella in Spain. Came over to America. Did a lot of sparring with Callum Johnson, the light heavyweight. And as far as we're aware, Jim, Buddy McGirt didn't join the camp until late, the last 10 days, couple of weeks. I could be wrong there, but it is certainly a difference in trainers, the way Sanchez is there every step of the way, and a little bit of liquid there, which Sanchez is now wiping up. Whereas McGirt comes in for the last few days. I don't think if he'd been there for the whole 3 months, it would have made that much difference. Macklin landing a solid shot, Golvkin walking straight through it and coming back, trying to attack the body. But this is better. Macklin's going to try and give this a go here. He's got to get involved in the tear-up, you would think, because plan A wasn't working.
That's what he has to do. All he was doing was surviving in the first couple of rounds. He has power of his own. As I said, he scored a lot of big, quick knockouts during his career. He has to do this. He has to go for it, because this fella's just walking him down and dominating him otherwise. Good effort there from Macklin.
Oh, that body shot was a killer. That has destroyed Matthew Macklin. There's no point in counting this.
I think his heart's been broken. His heart has been broken, and that is a crippling body shot. It's over.
What a punch. Did you think this fella was fake? He is not. He is the real thing. He may be the best middleweight on the planet. There aren't many would argue. 5 rounds, it took him 3. And Macklin is still on the floor in some distress.
Yeah, I think the other champions will be saying, thank heavens we have a title, we'll just be happy with what we've got and just leave that fellow completely alone to see if he can find challengers for his version of the title, because who would want to face him? He is special. We thought he would become special. I would say he's special right now. That was tremendous. Now that is a terrific fighter that's lying on the floor there, Matthew Macklin. We're not too concerned about him because it was a body shot. Obviously, if a fighter was lying in this condition with a head shot, we wouldn't be talking about it, be worried. But that's a body shot, and it's just taken everything away from Matthew Macklin, and he is a terrific fighter. That is a terrific world-class fighter that Golvkin has just done that to. Look, boom! As soon as that punch landed, the fight was over, and it's the fact that he was doing exactly as he pleased for the 3 rounds that the fight lasted.
And you can't blame Macklin for going out and throwing some bombs of his own, which obviously left him open to these attacks, because plan A was a disaster. I mean, he just barely got a shot off in the first 2 rounds, but just look what happened when he did go for it. Absolutely destroyed by a left hook to the body.
Yeah,
still on the floor as well.
And Golvkin, the way he turned away, he knew the fight was over. Terrific punch, terrific fighter, not a weakness. So what do we do with him? Do we start challenging super middleweights? I don't know. I can't see anyone in the middleweight division who can take what this fella's got.
No, Sergio Martinez has been the kingpin for so long. Not anymore, surely.
Woods Resort Casino. We go to the official time of the stoppage. 1 minute 22 seconds of round number 3. The winner by knockout victory. His KO percentage climbs. His undefeated victory record climbs. And he is still the IBO WBA middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Triple G Golvkin.
Well, we talk about the big punches, Jim. We saw Lucas Matissa destroying Lamont Peterson. Then we saw Adonis Stevenson with that wipeout of Chad Dawson. This was the pick, though, because that was a really tough, rugged, durable opponent who he just shattered.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of anyone who punches naturally as hard as this fella does. You can go back to Tommy Hearns, Duran, all the big punchers you want to think about. I mean, the viciousness in this fella, and every punch he throws doesn't have to set himself. The hooks, even the jabs that he was landing, you could see, you know, we're shaking Matthew down to his boots. Terrific natural power, technique, tough himself. He has everything. What a terrific career he has ahead of him, provided they can find some challengers for him.
Absolutely, and we must have some sympathy for Matthew Macklin here as well. This has been a tough night for him. It was a week of such confidence. He genuinely, everybody in his camp genuinely thought they would be the guys to expose, that Macklin would be the guy to expose the weaknesses. Well, it looks like he's managed to recover and have a smile on his face and be philosophical, and that's good, because he was just outclassed. Anybody would be outclassed tonight.
And if there's some good news for Matthew, it wasn't a punishing night. He was taken out with one clean shot. He is probably still good enough to beat maybe a couple of the champions at the moment. So he'll come back again. It's not the end of his career, so we don't want to start pitying him. He still has an awful lot to offer. As I said earlier, he is a world-class performer, but this guy is just something else.
Congratulations, Gennady. This was supposed to be your biggest challenge, was it?
Yeah, Max. Thank you. Thank you. I told you that this is my regular fight, not biggest chance for me. This is my regular fight because I'm champion today. This is big day for me today.
You wound up stopping him with a body shot. Would you like, we're going to play it for you. Tell me what you see.
Look, Max, just, yeah, right, good practice, you know, just, it's good performance. Just, I have good position for body shot. You see, just, it's my perfect position today. Just my lucky punch.
What do you do to get Sergio Martinez, who's recognized as the middleweight champion of the world, in the ring?
You know, Max, just first, this fight is present for my public, for everybody, for Irish public, for American people, for TV people, you know, just thank you very much. Just I want this fight. I know just I'm ready for this fight. I think this is great business for everybody, for sport, for fans, for TV too.
Thank you, Gennady, and I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Special HBO. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Matthew, after, let's face it, beating Felix Sturm, giving Sergio Martinez a terrific fight, all the hype about Golovkin, you didn't give him the same kind of fight. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, he's definitely the best kid I've ever fought, definitely. I mean, I had a plan to, you know, exploit his weakness, which really was his lack of experience. He'd only been 10 rounds once. But, you know, credit to him, he didn't even let me get into any kind of a groove at all. And he wasn't rushing me when he was patient. It was hard to hit clean. And bit by bit, he put the pressure on, picked his punches well. And, you know, the shot he took me out with, that's one of my favourites. I've done lots of people like that down the years, so I was due one probably.
Quickly, the punching power, can you describe it?
Yeah, it's not like a quick blistering explosive. There's different punching powers, and the one you don't see, which is explosive. His is more clubbing, solid. Every shot's hard, even his jab. He's accurate with it, and it's, you know, you feel the weight of it. And I mean, the reason he got me to the body was because I was obviously so preoccupied with defending the uppercuts that he got me downstairs.
Thanks so much, Matthew. I hope to see you again soon, too. Jim.
Some performance. We'll get reaction from Darren Barker, from Martin Murray and Johnny Nelson after that devastating display from Gennady Golvkin as he destroys Matthew Macklin in 3 brutal rounds. More reaction coming up after this short break. Gennady Golvkin showing why he's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet. Destroying Matthew Macklin in 3 brutal rounds. Macklin talking to Nick Alling.
I don't know what to say, really. I mean, you were so confident, but it looked like you just never had a chance in there.
Well, I just never got going. The plan was to just, weather the early storm. We thought he'd be aggressive. We'd try and take our time, box through the early onslaught, take him into the middle and late rounds where he'd never really been much, and then start, putting the pressure on from there. But, you got to give credit where credit's due, and I just got beat by a better fighter tonight. It was on me. Every shot was hard. It wasn't so much that the power was okay, but it was clubbing, it was stiff, it was solid. You couldn't be taking too much of it or you were going to get broken up. And then, he got me with a shot that I love getting people with left hooks to the body. I mean, he caught me a couple of decent shots to the head. So I think when he threw the 2 uppercuts, I raised my hands to block the hooks, and he went downstairs, and, it was a peach.
And his footwork was terrific, the way he was closing the ring down on you, giving you nowhere to go right from the first round.
Yeah, I tried not to give him too much momentum. A couple of times I tried to come back, fire back, and he just talked up, blocked it, and then straight away he was back on me with the pressure. And, listen, like I say, credit, he's the best kid I've fought by far. Way better than Sergio Martinez. Sergio's a friend of mine, but he's a better fighter.
He's better than Sergio Martinez?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it would be a tough fight going, and I always said I never duck anyone. I want to fight the best. I fight anyone, anywhere, and, I proved that I was taking that fight. I'd only had 1 round in 15 months, but even with the 1 round in 15 months, Sergio was a great fighter, a different fighter, but he's the real deal.
Yeah, tell us about the punch that finished it. I mean, it was obvious from the moment you went down, you weren't going to beat that count.
No, it was one of my, like I say, it's one of my favourite punches down for He's the left. It was about I took a few out with it, but I suppose because he landed a few heavy shots to the head. When he come on there and he threw an uppercut, and then the other uppercut come up, I lifted the hands up because I thought the hooks were coming. And he just switched the attack downstairs, and he got me right on the floating rib, and it was a lot of power, and he just took my breath away. I couldn't, I think the first thing I heard was 5 or something. I was always, I'm disappointed, but sometimes you just got to give credit where credit's due, and I got beat by a better fighter tonight, and that's all I can say.
You seem to have taken it well, and Jim Watt was saying it's definitely not the end for you or anything like that.
I mean, I took that fight, initially I wanted to fight in June and then to fight in September. I'd only had 1 round since the Sergio Martinez fight. I had an operation on the nose. I knew it would be tough, but I was, you try and concentrate on the positives, and I thought I'd be fresh going in, and I was, and I had a good training camp. But, he was just sharp from the start. I never managed to get him into the middle rounds where we wanted to kind of start exerting pressure. We just wanted to box, be smart early, and I probably got a bit dragged into a few exchanges and probably come off second best. And, but look, he fought a smart fight, and, he was the better fighter, and that's all you can say.
Yeah, no disgrace in losing to him.
I said I always wanted to fight the best and be in the best fights, and, no one else wanted to fight that guy. So, I said I'd step up and fight him. Afraid of no one, I'll fight anyone, anywhere. And, tonight I came second best. He was the better man, and that's all I can say.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Terrific attitude there from Matthew Macklin.
Yeah, you've got to give it to him, but it's a case of what could he do? For a split second we saw him try and push Golvkin back, and he had a bit of success because Golvkin, to me, again, I don't think was the better fighter on the back foot. He was dodging the shots, trying to position himself and get the power there. But from round 1, he just had Matthew Macklin under pressure, making him do things he didn't want to do, make him try and move from left to right. This wasn't because Matthew Macklin had planned this. This was because he had no choice. He didn't know where to go. He was under pressure. He didn't know whether he wanted to back up, go forward, go backward. He had no idea because Golvkin had him under that kind of pressure. He was so cool, he knew he had him from the off.
He didn't even break sweat. There was no way he was going to beat him today. Just, Macklin said it right when he said he's the real deal, and, that's what he looks like.
He just took control straight away. I was impressed with his footwork as well, Golvkin. Obviously, everyone talks about how powerful he punches, but he gets in and out of range so quickly. It just takes a tiny step back and, misses the big shots that Macklin was coming back with.
and his balance was spot on. You know, his body balance was all right in focus, right in the centre, and he just walked the shots down. Even when he let the shots go, it wasn't as though he put himself off balance. He just slipped the shots in, moved it from the hip, moved it from the shoulder. That's his 14th knockout inside 3 rounds. And look how easy he made it. So we don't know how good, you know, if you didn't know anything about Matthew Macklin, you still have no idea now, because you saw nothing of Matthew Macklin.
The power is frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Johnny just said then, 14 knockouts inside 3 rounds. And I said earlier on, you know, it's usually fatigue that does Macklin, but he just proved that he finished him with a devastating body shot, and just the way he throws, he's so natural with his shots. It's like they're effortless. And when he hit him with that shot, he was never good enough.
In the third, it was almost like Macklin had riled him when he had tried to take the fight to him, changed his game plan a bit. Yeah. Golvkin just came back and that was it.
Yeah.
But that was his best chance. Look at it now. We've just seen what's happened. What could we suggest you could do to beat Golvkin? Would you try and outbox him? You guys are the same. What would you try and do to beat him?
Take a baseball bat.
Yeah, take a golf club.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He is very good.
And it was the way he finished him as well. It was like Matthew said there. It was one of his own shots. It's a shot he likes. You know, taps to the head and then drops to left to the body, and it was a shot worthy of winning a lot of fights.
And the problem is, who's he fight now? Martinez.
Well, who'd want to fight him?
Yeah,
I mean,
Martinez will win it. You know, what does he do? Does he think, shall I step up and go up to super middleweight? And Andre Ward, supposed to be the king of the hill.
There has been talk of them two fighting, actually. So
yeah, that's an interesting
that's
fight.
That's a possible fight.
Virgil Hunter was there. Would he be interested? I don't think so.
He's one of them type of fighters, though. He'd fight anybody. He's not bothered. He's in there. He looks so relaxed. It's just what he does, and you know, he'll just fight anybody. And you know, I think where they've said he'll go to 154, to 160, to 168. You know, I believe he would actually do that.
It's not just the power, though. There's so much skill and technique involved, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Like I was saying earlier, his footwork, you know, is amazing. He sips the shots well. He gets a lot of leverage, and
his distance is spot on. His range, just them little step backs, and he pauls his hands out, which Macklin said he couldn't catch him clean, and